Okay. All right, your book should be open to page 240, 241. You're going to want to have your books open to both pages. Okay. We are going to read through this one more time and look for some answers to our questions. Number one, you want to read the question for me, Kathy?
Underline what does Walter say about how he got hurt.
Okay, I'm going to read through this one more time, and when I leave out a word, chime in and say the word. When you hear what he says about how he got hurt, make sure you underline. When Mama called me for supper that evening, I called back that I wasn't. She called me a second time and told me to come to the kitchen, where my father now sat at the table, his dinner before him. By that time, my legs had stiffened so I could hardly walk. "What's wrong with you, boy?" my father asked. "Nothing," my universal answer. "What's wrong with you, boy?" my father's voice again, deeper, more resolute. "My legs hurt," I said. "Take your pants down." Right there at the dinner table, I had changed pants and now undid my belt and gingerly let the changed pants down. My mother gasped when she saw my a mass of bruises, swelling, and dried.
Wait, a mass of... I thought it said a mass of bruises.
A mass of bruises, swelling, and dried blood. "What happened to you?" my father demanded. I knew that hitching a ride on the back of a cab was wrong, and I had been trying so hard all year to be good. Maybe all these things were swimming around in my head too quickly. I honestly don't know what made me answer the way I did. When he says that all those things were swimming around in his head, what is he trying to say?
They're making crazy things about it.
Okay, he's got, Justin says, too many things going on in his head. Have you ever had that happen to you before, where you've got so many things on your mind that you can't really have one focused thought? That happens to me a lot.
When he said, I knew that he was right on that. Is that...
Yep, he's thinking to himself, I knew what I did was wrong, but I've been trying to be good all year, and I didn't want to mess up, so then I just blurted out, "Mama beat me with a stick," I said, the tears already flowing. Is that what he says about?
Yeah.
Okay, so underline it. Mama beat me with a stick. That's what we're going to underline. That's how he says he got hurt.
I thought it was, I knew that hitching... I thought it was the one that said, I knew that hitching right on the back.
Nope. What does he actually say to his...
I know, that's what I was thinking. That's not what happened. He said that.
Mama beat me with a stick. All right. Can we go on? Can we go on? Okay. I think that if my mama hadn't been so shocked at the condition of my legs, she might have been able to respond. As it was, I don't think she could really believe what she was hearing. First, there was her darling boy come home a bruised and bloody mess, in itself enough to send her into a blind panic. And then, the same darling boy claiming to have suffered his injuries at her hand. Maybe I could have reversed myself, admitted what had really happened, if my father had not gone absolutely crazy with
Anger.
He bellowed, "If you ever, how, why, if you ever touch him again, I'll..." My father sputtered on and on. At this point, Mama was crying. I was gingerly put into a bathtub to let my legs soak. I sat in the hot water and listened as my father hollered at Mama. It never occurred to him that I could be lying about such a thing. I went to bed and told God I was sorry. The next 2 weeks, I couldn't go to school. Mama brought me food, and I put it on a chair near my bed. She didn't say anything to me, just looked at me as if she had never seen me before. What were you going to say, Dylan?
Why does he keep saying gingerly? I mean, does it mean like when you get a cut and you try and go in water, it hurts, so you kind of like...
If you handle something gingerly,
Like softly? How come he says it twice,
very
though?
carefully, very tenderly. I don't know, that just might be a word that he really liked to use when he wrote. But
He's been
gingerly,
saying that? Yeah.
he said it a couple times. I gingerly, I think he said it more than once too.
Yeah.
On the other page as well. Gingerly just means very carefully, very softly.
Took my pants off.
Okay. All right, so we have that. What does Walter say about how he got hurt? He obviously blames his mom. Okay. Number 2, we've talked about this. How would you react if someone accused you of something that you didn't do? What are some things that you might say or things that you might do? Cappy? Well, no, not that. When I think of this, I think that his mom was probably so surprised. That was probably
Yeah, like she's like
Mama,
in shock, so
yeah.
she has nothing to say.
That was probably the last thing that she thought was going to come out of his mouth. And so when he says, "Mom beat me with a stick," what? Like that's kind of what I would picture her as, you know, just kind of not being able to find the words to respond. But if someone had accused you of doing something that you didn't do, how would you feel? What would you do? Would you try to defend yourself?
I do what I always do, argue. But they're
Like, as a joke, I'll take it as a joke. But if it's not as a joke, I'll like,
no,
wrong thing.
no, I didn't do that. I'd argue.
No.
I'll argue till I'm right.
Okay.
Well, I already am right, but I mean, I'd argue until they against my back.
Okay. All right, go ahead and fill that out. If someone accused me of something that I didn't do, I would blank. Should probably take attendance sometime today, huh?
Ooh, I could have been calm this whole time and then been
Just jump on the book right now.
Look around. When does fourth period start?
It already started. That's 6 minutes ago.
You have 3 people in here. 3.
Okay, do we have that first or that second question down?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on to number 3. Walter's mother cries but stays silent. How might she be feeling about what Walter says?
She might be like
Surprised. Okay, what else? How would your mom feel if you would try to do that to her?
She'd be so
Angry. Okay.
Okay, you say how much.
What's that one word? What's that one word that's worse than yelling at you? What can we go? Disappointed. That's what I think the big one would be. Disappointed.
No, she'd be
Who
more
would make that
disappointed.
choice?
American space program, however, wasn't
Go ahead and write it down. How do you think that his mom is feeling?
At that point, the U.S. and the Soviet Union scrambling to outdo one another in this new field of space exploration. When the Soviets launched God into space, the U.S. launched a chip. When the Soviet Union
Nope, not yet. We'll finish it tomorrow. Okay, we're ready to go on to the compare and contrast? Okay, when we compare, we look at how 2 things are the same. When we contrast, we look at how they are different. Okay, so we're going to compare and contrast the reactions of Walter's father and mother. So number 1 says circle. How does Walter's father react to his explanation about the accident? Okay. Okay, is that where it starts?
Yeah. He bellowed.
Is that where it starts?
Yeah.
Could you have circled anything in the sentence about that?
He bellowed like he stuck his belly.
Bellowed. Do you know what bellowed means? It's like a really loud, low, deep voice.
You stick his belly out and then his belly top?
Okay. I would have started circling here at if my father had not gone absolutely crazy with anger.
Cool.
Okay. And then where did you stop?
In that year, the Soviets
Like down.
Is that where you can stop? Where you stop there?
the Americans.
It almost seems to me like the dad is so mad that he can't even put together a sentence. Have you ever been like that?
No.
Yeah. Where you're like, what? Babe, I can't believe. What? How could you? Like that's kind of like how I picture him.
Yeah, like sometimes I'll stutter and I'll get really mad and then almost punch a wall.
Okay, well, yeah, that's good that you stopped yourself. Okay, let's do our last one. Dylan, read me question number 2 under that.
How does Walter's mother react to the explanation and to Walter's father's statement?
Okay, so when she hears his explanation, she is Shocked, okay, is a good one. But then when his dad responds, how does she react? Okay, what does she do though? She cries. Okay. She doesn't actually say anything.
She cries and is shocked.
Mhm. Trevor, can you put your feet down, please? Really, Dylan?